Hi everyone, this is Neel Raithatha, consultant audiologist and director of WAXscope. Thank you for joining me in another demonstration video of our now released WAXscope. And here we have a patient who attended with fully occluding keratin in their right ear, and they have got quite a narrow medial aspect of the ear canal. The outer third of the ear canal, so the pars externa, is a bit wider, so I'm using our medium-sized specular here, our 4.25mm specular, but a bit later on in the procedure I'm going to revert to our smaller speculum size, which is at 3.5mm internal diameter specular, just so I can enter the ear a bit deeper to peel away some dead skin. And what I've done, I've just reduced the exposure. With keratin, it's highly reflective, so I've just turned down the brightness ever so slightly so we just get a better view. I decided to try and use forceps there to get a grip and extract this keratin plug. However, it was just a bit too soft. So I've just reverted back for now to the suction probe, and you can see some fresh keratin enveloping the posterior section of this keratin plug on the left-hand side around 9 o'clock. So as the skin sheds of the ear canal, if it doesn't migrate out of the ear naturally, which it should, it instead forms into a plug, and the outermost layers of dead skin, because they're just freshly shed, they're a bit more white in appearance, and eventually that will come into the center of the plug, into the core, and it will oxidize, so it'll become a bit darker. So I've managed to print this out to just past the second bend, and I thought I'll just try the forceps again, but instead of gripping the keratin plug and removing it, it's just cutting into it. So I'm just using the right correct. There's a little opening at the top, so I'm just going over and trying to slowly bring this forward. So as is usually the case when you're using manual instruments, you've got to be careful you don't dig in too deep. Otherwise, as you're withdrawing the instrument, there's always a chance of making contact with the floor of the ear canal. So again, I'm just dilating the ear canal. As you can see, it's getting narrower the deeper we get in. So I'm just trying to separate this keratin from the canal wall. There's loads of skin adhesions here. And I'm just giving it a little wriggle at the same time. And I can feel I've got a good suction grip, so I'm slowly coming away with the suction probe. If I come away too quickly, we lose that airtight seal, and you then therefore lose suction power. So I've just brought it to the first bend. So that's the first bend to the left. We've got those hairs protruding. So these hairs near the entrance, they're protruding outwards. But as you enter the ear, so these hairs will only be found in the pars externa portion of the ear canal, the outer third, the cartilaginous portion, but they're a bit more flat orientated. They're up against the canal wall instead of protruding the deeper you go in. So now I'm just going to increase the exposure. So the eardrum is in the distance, we'll get a good view of that in a moment, but for now I'm just going to try and peel away some of this dead skin. So this is on the anterior canal wall, and I think I'm going to revert to forceps in a moment to peel this away. So once more I'm just dilating the ear open, just brought the exposure down ever so slightly because it was slightly reflective. So I'm just getting the bottom jaw, orientating it at 3 o'clock. Trying to glide it against the canal wall. So I've got a good tail of keratin that was removed there. I'm just getting it in focus, and once more I'm going to go back in with the forceps, I think. So in terms of the patient's hearing ability, this keratin probably not going to make a substantial difference to their hearing ability, but just want to remove it just so we can allow the skin hopefully to start to naturally migrate once more. So this is a bit deeper now. I'm going to revert to the fine end suction probe, and we're going to gently peel this away off the canal wall. Sometimes in these cases you peel away some keratin like this, and underneath that you may have an ulceration, some granulation tissue. So just want to make sure there's nothing lurking untowards underneath. peel it towards the eardrum. See, it's quite a thick layer of skin, this. I'm just wrestling with it ever so slightly. And I'm just peeling it back out towards the entrance. So now reverted to the smaller specular size, just so I can get a bit more depth. And there's just some skin here on the anterior canal wall, so I'm just going to remove that. And this is adjacent to the eardrum now, so you can be really gentle and delicate. And I'm going to peel away. And this is where the WAXscope provides some additional benefits or the other methods of removal, because it provides you with high-level magnification, so you can really see close up and in detail when you're performing the procedure. But as with any visualization method, when you're working really deep in the ear, it always does get a bit more complex. So I'm just going to the floor of the ear canal. I'm going to peel away some of this skin. It just looks a bit macerated. Again, just want to make sure there's nothing lurking underneath. And I'm just going to refocus that piece of skin in the distance. I'm happy with that. It's just some on the back part canal wall, and there's a bit of crusted skin just kind of in the midsection, so we'll remove that for the patient as well. So this patient is a regular attendee. They attend twice a year. So their skin is just not naturally migrating out the ear as it should. It's kind of sort of migrating laterally. It's falling into the center. So, and you've got a still image there. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video, guys. If you are a specialist in earwax removal and you are interested in the WAXscope, please do email info@clearwax.co.uk.